Hi guys, this is Alex, and welcome back to Kerbal. In the last episode, we were heading back to Kerbin, and we're going to finish heading back there today. So let's speed up. Whoa! And just get right over there. Let's see. Assuming that I did everything correctly the last time, we should just be able to get, an encounter by just burning, right like that. Okay. So, I think this episode should actually be up on time, but I spent most of the day editing the Escapists video that I put up today, because it was there was an hour and a half worth of stuff that I had to cut down to like 20 minutes. I wanted to get it down to 15 minutes, but I couldn't keep cutting stuff out. I had to leave a bunch of stuff in, like. There was stuff that I wanted to keep in, stuff that I needed to keep in if I wanted to, you know, sort of show what actually happened. No, I'm not entirely sure any of it's really coherent, and not sure if there's anything you can really follow in that. Basically, in that video, I dicked around for like an hour and a half and accomplished absolutely nothing. Fortunately, I've started using a different video editing program, Adobe Premiere, and it seems to render videos a lot faster than Sony Vegas. Well, it rendered that one at least, and that might just be the resolution, I'm not sure. If it is, then this might not be up in time. If not, then, well, this actually should be up on time, I think. I don't know. We'll see. If it's not up on time, it won't be too long afterwards that it gets up. And good lord, this burn is taking forever. Yeah, it's almost there. Kerbin has a circular orbit, so how high is it? How high is Kerbin? 13,338. We're getting there. We're getting there, slowly but surely. And as I've mentioned before, when I get back to Kerbin, what I want to do is I want to start doing other things. I do want to land on all the things eventually. But I do want to see what other types of missions there are, because a lot of the missions I've never really taken before, like the build a base mission. I think I did that once. I think I did that in one of the earlier episodes. I built a base on Minmus, I think. Something like that, or one to position a satellite. I think there's one to get an asteroid, like capture an asteroid in the moon's orbit, which I've never even done that. I put one in like Kerbin orbit once a long time ago, not in the moon's orbit. That's kind of weird. But if one of those missions is available, I want to get that. I want to try doing that. I've never done that before. I think it'd be cool. All right. We've almost got it up there. Just a few more minutes. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to get to that today, because we have to get our Kerbonauts back first. And in order to do that, we have to... Well, first we have to get to Kerbin. We have to get into orbit over Kerbin, and then we have to send the retrieval craft, because we still need to do that. Okay, I need to adjust my orbit. Ascending node! Okay. then I'm gonna want it to point towards that thing. Alright, there we go. Perfect! Now if we burn in this direction, it should tilt our orbit. I think. Yes! It'll tilt our orbit down this way, which is what we want. It'll align us with Kerbin a little bit. Not perfectly since we passed the ascending node, but it'll be close. Close enough. And that's what matters. Separation is increasing. That's not supposed to happen, but that's okay. We can fix that later. What we really do want to be aligned with Kerbin's orbit, though. And that's going to be important, because if we can get aligned with Kerbin's orbit, then we can get an orbit that's like equatorial. Because Kerbin isn't like Earth. Kerbin isn't like tilted. Earth is a little tilted. Kerbin isn't tilted, so if you get an if your orbit is aligned with Kerbin's orbit, then when you get captured, your orbit around Kerbin should be fairly equatorial, or at least close. I think. Okay. Believe it or not, I'm not a rocket scientist, so sometimes I'm wrong about these things. Hopefully I'm right about this, though. Because this is actually something that for a long time, I wasn't sure about. I didn't know how to, like, get these ideal orbits around things like this. And then it occurred to me, just align yourself with it, and you'll get that equatorial orbit that you want. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. So I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut this out, and I will be back once I've got an encounter with Kerbin. So I'll be back in just a moment. Okay. I'm back, and I got a nice good intercept. Or encounter. Whatever. Same thing, just with something that has gravity. But I also didn't get my orbit aligned perfectly, so I'm going to... And the reason is because we passed the ascending node. So what happens was the ascending node was like over here. So I tried to adjust my orbit, and the ascending node basically wrapped around here. And that sent the descending node over here. But what's good about this is that now I can just wait until I get over here to the descending node, and I can finish adjusting my orbit. I think I already quick saved, but let's do it again, just because. Alright. So, yeah. You can pretty much adjust your orbit at either the ascending node or the descending node, whichever one is in a better position. And whether or not it's in a better position depends on a lot of things. For one, you're going to want one that's ahead of you. So if in a case like this, when you can't afford to do like a full orbit, whichever one's ahead of you or whichever one is closest is the one you want to go for. Like the ascending node was over here, so I decided to use that one, even though I had already passed it, because I needed to get my orbit adjusted before I needed to get my orbit adjusted before I sent myself. I completely lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I was so focused on the game, I forgot what I was saying. I needed to get my orbit adjusted before I actually expanded my orbit. Well, I needed to do both. I needed to do both of those down here, because if I hadn't adjusted my orbit, I might not have gotten an intercept with Kerbin. So I had to do that. So I had to get my orbit adjusted, and I got it adjusted enough, fortunately. But when you're like in Kerbin orbit or orbit around a planet or something, and you can afford to do a couple of orbits, usually it's best until you wait for the. Usually it's best to wait for the node that is at the higher part of your orbit. Unless you have a circular orbit, then it doesn't matter. But usually you won't. Usually you'll have some sort. Usually your orbit will be some sort of non-circular ellipse. And when that's the case, one of the nodes is usually going to be at a higher point in your orbit than one of the other nodes, than the other node. And when that's the case, you want to wait for the one that's at the higher point of your orbit, because it's easier to adjust it there than it is to adjust it at a lower point. All right, see, we got a nice orbit, or a nice encounter. That's going to take us nice and close to Kerbin, and we also have a fairly equatorial orbit, so that's very good. That'll make only problem is wonder if I can fix that. No, probably best to just leave it as it is. We're orbiting the wrong way, unfortunately. So that's not good. That means that whatever craft ends up coming to retrieve us is going to have a harder time getting to us. But we might be able to fix that. We might actually be able to fix that. Because what we can do is, like I said, when you're adjusting your orbit, it's better to wait until you're at like the high point in your orbit, so you're going really slow. At least in my experience. I don't know. I hope I never say anything that's really stupid on this, because I'm not a rocket scientist. I've been playing this game for quite a while, but yeah, I'm not a genius. There are a lot of things in this game that I still don't know. A lot of things about the physics that I don't know, because I haven't had physics class in quite a while. All I know is, when you're at that high point in your orbit, you're usually going pretty slow. And if you're going slow, then it's kind of easy to adjust your orbit. At least we did get a nice, it's fairly circular. That's good, that's good. Okay. So probably gonna take some time to get our orbit back down. We came pretty close to Kerbin. Yeah, pretty good intercept. Alright, I'm not sure how long it's going to take for this to happen. Like about a minute. Okay. Alright, I'll cut it, and, I'll cut this out, and I'll be back when I have a full orbit around Kerbin. All right. That'll do. That will do quite nicely. So yeah, as I mentioned before, we are currently orbiting in the wrong direction. Which isn't a huge deal, but it would be more difficult to send things up to intercept this craft. So I'm going to wait until I'm all the way up here. Okay. And I'm just going to point in that direction. Let's see if we can get... Yeah, alright. Let's quick save. I think this should work. And if we just hold it like that, our orbit should just flip around like that. Perfect. Okay. Now we need to make sure we don't intercept Kerbin because we have no way of landing on it right now. So just Kerbin periapsis. Get it like, I like 300,000 meters. There we go. That'll do. All right. Fantastic. We're just gonna fall back down the same way we came up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop it. Oh, fuck. Alright, do another orbit because I passed it up. Fuck. Wait, what's that do for us? Well, it lowers our orbit. Alright, we'll use the moon. I think if I do that, what happens if I do that? What's gonna end up closer to the moon? Alright, we'll just let the moon do its thing. Whoa, we need to speed up again. Don't forget that. So that slowed us down a little bit. Changed our orbit a bit. It may or may not have been worth it, but whatever. All right. Try again. Good. All right. Now just point that way. Okay. Good, good, good. Oh lord, now our orbit looks terrible. And this thing isn't supposed to have this name. This is supposed to be the Pegasus 2. I never did rename it, so there. Perfect. Okay, so this is going to take a few minutes, so I'll be back when we got a nice low orbit. Actually, I need to adjust this thing's orbit again, so I'm going to wait. So I'm going to go over here. Well, we still got a nice high orbit. That'll be good for that. The descending node, we need that. Oh, right over there. Perfect. There we go. That'll let us adjust that so that we can get a nice, good intercept with whatever craft we end up sending up here. Excellent. All right. So our node is decreasing rapidly. And then all I have to do is lower the orbit. So I think I'll do both of those, and I'll cut this out. And I'll cut to when I've got both of those done. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, that'll do. Okay, good. So we've got a nice low orbit that we can use for rendezvous. Okay, so I think I've got like eight minutes or so left in this episode. So let's do a couple of things. First, I want to see what sort of missions I have. Bring newly discovered Class A asteroid to Kerbin and land it. Interesting. Newly discovered Class C asteroid into orbit around Duna. Let's do that. And build a new orbital station around Minmus. Orbital station around Kerbin or around Minmus? Building one around Minmus sounds cooler, so let's do that. Seven Kerbals, power antenna docking port. Have a viewing cupola at the station. Build the facility into a newly discovered Class B asteroid. What? Huh? I'm not sure about that. Let's just do the one around duration 16 years. I've got plenty of time to do it. We'll take both of them. So I've got plenty of time to figure out how to do this stuff. So we'll take those. We'll take those missions. But first we need to get our guys back. And let's see, we have our what did we call it? Crew retrieval craft, that was it. Yeah, that was what we used to get our Kerbals back. Let's, for the sake of making the landing a bit more gentle, let's do that. And let's also take these off and replace them with those. We won't need those. There we go. I think that'll do. That'll do quite nicely. So let's save that. And let's launch it. Let's get our Kerbals back so that we can get to these more interesting missions. All right. Okay. So we should just need to rendezvous with it and slow down just a bit. Not that much. Not actually slow down, just don't accelerate as fast. Okay, good, good, good. Excellent. And it looks like I'm making good time. I might actually have this one up. Might actually have this episode up on time tonight. I'm very happy about that, actually. I'm very happy. And decouple that stage. That flies right off. Very clean, very nice. Always good when you open up, when you launch an older rocket, one that you built a while back, we didn't build this all that long ago, but still, wasn't one that we built just now. And everything just seems to go swimmingly. Oh Lord, which one of these is it? That one. All right. How much fuel? Okay, we're good for now. All right, full throttle. I think we're high enough. We can full throttle it. And those are gone. Good. Okay. So yeah, Adobe Premiere definitely seems to render videos a lot faster, so I'm very happy about that. So if I had still been using Vegas, this episode would not be up in time. Not a chance. But Adobe Premiere might render it faster. It rendered the other one faster. I'm not sure if it'll render this one faster. Certainly hope it does. But we shall see. We shall see. Okay. Got to keep an eye on the power, because this thing's unmanned and we can't let it run out of power. Fortunately, though, once we get high enough, we can just deploy the solar panels. Don't want to deploy the solar panels in the atmosphere, because if you do that, they'll break off. So just need to wait till we get up here and deploy them. Very nice, very nice. Alright. And just wait till... Whoa, whoa, whoa! Fuck. God damn it. Okay. Well, if I just... As long as I don't get too far into the atmosphere, I should be fine. I think. Yes. Okay, good. Okay, saved that. That's good. Yeah, as long as you don't get down to like 50 kilometers, solar panels are usually fine. So yeah, it all depends on how thick the atmosphere that you're passing through is. All right, good, 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 good. Oh, that ran out of fuel. There we go. All right, that'll do for now. That'll do for now. Let's see, ascending node. So we should just be able to adjust that like that. Can nudge it just a bit. All right, perfect. All right. And I think that just about does it for this episode. All right, so we got our Kerbals back. We got them around Kerbin again. And in the next episode, we're going to rendezvous with them and get them back onto Kerbin. And we can then perhaps send them on another mission to build a station or capture an asteroid, or maybe we'll make that unmanned. I don't know. We'll see. Because we still have to build those build the craft for that. So that's going to be interesting. Some of those I actually haven't even done before. I've never actually bothered building space stations around anything other than Kerbin before. And I've never really captured many asteroids either, so that could be interesting. That should prove interesting. Bring newly discovered Class A asteroid, build a station around Kerbal and Minmus, and then we just have the Explorer missions. So we're going to do those in the next episode, hopefully, or at least get started on them. So, thanks so much for watching, guys, and until next time.